Hello, and it's a very great pleasure to welcome Marc Juarez from Seoul Semiconductors. Marc is the Technical and Marketing Director for Europe, and he is going to tell us a little bit about some remarkable range of products called Sunlight. In fact, Seoul Semiconductors was a pioneer in this field of full spectrum lighting, and he's actually been kind enough to share a couple of samples with me, so I'm illuminated today with his products, and I'm just actually really loving them. Everybody I've spoken to and shared these products with have really enjoyed seeing them. So Marc, you're going to share a quick presentation with us, and then I'm going to ask you some more questions. So perhaps over to you. I know you're going to share your screen, so let's do that.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let me share. Thanks for the invitation also, and happy to be here, that we can discuss about it. So our idea is the natural light. As you can also listen, now we are in a natural environment where the sun is really the reference for the best quality of the light. So this is what we want to do from Seoul, and with one of our key products that we created to really mimic the sun, that it's called Sunlight. Just we'll make a brief introduction, Seoul Technology success stories. So company is quite old already. It's a multinational company, so we are really in every country all around the world. We are not very well known because we are kind of OEM, so behind the big brands you can find our products, but we don't sell our brand directly to the customers, to the end consumer. So, but we are really behind every bulb or every lighting product you can find in the market. So we started in 1992, and we keep growing every year. And even now with the UV, we have a big expansion since 2017, and also trying to help on the Corona times with our disinfection UV products. This is working very, very good also, despite this pandemic. Then we are, as I mentioned, all around the world. We have 4 big factories and R&D centers, and based here in Munich, in Germany. We have our headquarters for Europe. And here you see the sectors of the company: lighting, automotive, display, IR and Bexel, and UV. So even for displays and automotive, our sunlight is also being applied today to make better pictures, to see better materials in automotive, and in lighting, of course, to have a better and a healthy light. UV, as I mentioned, is really one of the keys today that is changing the product, and our company is the #1 in the world. So remark this. If you have any project for UV, happy to support you. So going to the point of the sunlight, we bring the sun indoors, where the quality of the light is really the most important. Even we are really focused on lumen per watt and efficiency. We really target the quality of the light. So this is what happened in our history. We were shaped under the sun for millions of years, and then this recent 50, 100 years, the spectrum of the light really changed a lot. And with our sunlight, we want to go back and create the sun again indoors. This is our main purpose with this product. Here you can see the sun spectrum, the real one, how it is a fluorescent tube, really not a continuous spectrum, just 3 peaks, and white LEDs with the big blue peak energy going out that also differs a lot from the natural sun. So we know that the sun is bringing us quality, stimulus, and health. So when we are under a nice sunny day, you'll feel better. Yeah? And this is what we demonstrated with our technology. So technically, we use a new technology. Instead of using a blue chip, we use a near UV chip that it doesn't emit blue light. And we can convert all of this energy in RGB, so we can have this kind of shape like the sun, and we can control very good wavelength and really mimic the sun with a super high quality for any CCT of the light, 2700, 5000, always with the full color rendering. When in a normal LED, you will always have, if you go 6500 Kelvin, the R9 value, that is the red color, will be always very poor, or the cyan value, you will always find it in a traditional LED. So this is one of the key points. Then about the stimulus, we want to stimulate the people like the real sun. We don't want to overstimulate, or we don't want to feel them super stressed. Yeah? So with sunlight, we can really copy the sun. The melanopic equivalent daylight illuminance ratio for the sun, 6,500 Kelvin, would be 1. Our sunlight is 0.995, really the closest to the sun. And then for the circadian rhythms, we have a solution that we don't only change the CCT, we change the spectrum. That is one of the keys, that the human body can sleep better in the night if it has good lighting during the day. And this was demonstrated by some studies from a university that I will show you now. So as you see, the spectrum of the real sun goes changing during the day. It's not that we always have the same spectrum. And there is a balance between the blue energy and the red energy. So this is the same we do with the sunlight. In the night, we have no blue and more red. And this allows us to create the melatonin and go to sleep.
Can I just check though,
Yeah.
Mark, are those different patterns of light being emitted by the same lamp? So you can have the same bulb essentially in your lamp and tune it to those different times of day and night. Is
Right.
that what's happening?
That's correct. It's something we are working with several companies to make it, that you can have a lamp that in the morning will give you more bluish energy, that you can be a bit more concentrated. And when we approach the evening, there is no blue, that you can stay more relaxed. Yeah, this is possible.
Okay. So could you just, if you can forgive me for jumping in here, if you can go back to that wonderful diagram that you had of the underlying the underlying chip with the additional layer on top of it. As the is it the same chip so on the one on the right, which is your sunlight chip?
Right.
Over the course of the day, as you tune the chip, or as you tune your light bulb, are you actually bringing in different amounts of those coatings? Is that what's happening, or
yeah, how we do this changing on the spectrum during the day is a mixing of 2 or 3 of different chips. Yeah, it's not just one chip doing everything. So we mix usually 2 or 3 chips on a different CCT points. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so you've got essentially several different light emitting diodes with different compositions of spectrum, and so
Correct.
you can put them in and out to create that balance or that curve. So it's not the same chip. It's not like the same light bulb. It's actually essentially like having lots of little miniature light bulbs together, like little pixels, and they're just shifting the balance of the pixels together.
Yes, you are correct. By the moment, our solution is based on these 3 different chips in the same bulb, and you go turning on and off, or putting more power in one, less power in another, to make the spectrum unique. Yes.
Thank you very much indeed for that.
Okay, so let's continue. But I think this is very interesting to see how we can really control the blue, because with a traditional LED, the problem is that even you are at 2,700 Kelvin, you still have a big blue amount. So this is what we can really control very accurately, and have a lamp without any blue for the evening, for example. Then I want to share with you the research that we are conducting, or that we've been doing the last years, because this is a long-term project. So we work with the Basel University, where they test our sunlight solution versus a CRI-80 traditional LED, and we could see really clinically tested that the results were amazing, much better. So people would have a better sleep in the night if they were taking sunlight light during the day. So this was really interesting for us to see. And then also with Fraunhofer Institute here in Germany, that the people really feel much comfortable under the sunlight, and have a more concentrated work with the sunlight compared with the CRI-80. Then we are also,
that paper I'm going to add links to those papers because they're really fascinating. And what's one of the funny ones was in that Fraunhofer, people could choose different pieces of chocolate from different booths, and the apparent color temperature was the same. They all looked as if they were in a cool white, but the one which had the sunlight chip in it, people naturally chose the chocolate in that area. So I'm not sure if it's so good for our waistline to have good quality light, but it certainly shows that at some level we are responsive to these things, even if they all look the same. Sorry to break in. Go ahead, Marcus.
No, that's really interesting, and so we learn more and more, and we are conducting more studies related to myopia, sleep induction. So we think, and I think it's for all of us understood, that the sun is really the best light. So we can really recreate the sun. We can have a big advance in the lighting technology. So here you see a small results from the University of Basel, where they could find that if you take sunlight during the day, in the evening you can have a deeper sleep. Deeper sleep at the end means that you can refresh much more your cells, and then in the next day you are feeling much better. So this is why it's so important to have a deep sleep. So we could have a longer deep sleep and more profound with the sunlight. So here you see a bit the results that we could have better sleep. People would learn better when using sunlight. It's better for the eyes with improved visual comfort. And also at the end, we could demonstrate, or the Basel University could demonstrate, that even people had a better mood. So the mood is also something that for me is very easy to understand and to see with the light, because I'm from Spain, but living in Germany. So you can imagine when there is a sunny day, for me it's like, wow, today I'm very, very happy. If it's 3 days in a row that it's raining, my mood really goes down. No? So this is what we can create with the sunlight, with the artificial light, that people feels better mood inside the house, also especially now that we have to spend so much time inside the house. So here I share you some pictures and some differences for the things. So in the end, sunlight outperform conventional LEDs. Yeah.
Can you just go back and just share, because those 3 graphics are really fascinating. Could you just go back and share those with us, please? Thank you.
Yeah, so this one is about the light quality. They conducted the study with a lot of students and adults, and everybody could say or was saying that the sunlight quality of the light was really, really much better. Yeah. With objects, with working tools, with natural products, with everything they test. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
And yeah.
And the next one?
Yeah, the next one is about what we talk about, the blue. So the blue energy going to the eye. When you use a general LED, for example, at 6,500 Kelvin CCT, your blue peak is 3 to 4 times bigger than the sunlight blue peak. So all of this blue energy going to your eyes, it doesn't create a good comfort. So this is also one of our studies that is ongoing right now to show that there is a big discomfort when having a lot of blue energy. So with the sunlight, as you can see, we follow the gray zone of the real sun with our red light, red spectrum. So we are in line with the sun, not over stressing the eyes. This would be the word, for example.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Great.
Right, and then the last one is about the mood that we all feel. I think we all feel better when there is a nice sunny day, right?
Absolutely.
Then,
absolutely.
yeah. So then we see the Fraunhofer study that also they test the sunlight against Sierra 80 in a special room they have with artificial windows, and they can.
I'm just going just going to mention what, because if you're for a non-specialist audience, CRI 80 means color rendering index 80. So if you look at the specification for a lighting product, it should tell you, a good quality one anyway, will tell you what its color rendering index is. And if you think about how we perceive color, the colors that we perceive are because a certain number, the range of wavelengths is coming out of the light source, and some of it is being absorbed by the object and some of it is coming back. So if you have a CRI 80, it means that only 80% of the available wavelengths are coming out of the light source, so only 80% are going to be coming back. Whereas I understand that with sunlight, you've got, is it 90 or 97 CRI?
97, yeah, 97.
So that means that if sun is 100, it's 100%, all the wavelengths are coming out of the sun. Out of a sun-like, a lamp with a sun-like chip, it should be, if it's a true sun-like chip, that you're getting almost the complete spectrum, which means that you're getting almost a complete set of colors coming from the objects around you. So I just wanted to explain that in a bit more detail. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, one of the important things of the sunlight that we can do CRI 97 for any CCT. The CCT, maybe you can also explain, or I don't know if people know, but is the color, no, of the light, if it's more warmer or if it's more colder, like 2700 Kelvin or 6500 Kelvin. So even if we choose a very cold light, 6500 Kelvin CCT, sunlight will give you CRI 97. So the colors will be also amazing in a real daylight.
And the easy way to remember that is CCT is controlled color temperature. So that's what those letters stand for. Sorry, do go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah. So about the Fraunhofer studies, very interesting. Again, they equipped the lab with our lamps and they tested. And here you can see what they test. This was 3000 Kelvin, so without blue peak for the sunlight, with a lot of blue energy for a traditional CRI 80. Here you can see all of these colors, and this round shape is the TM30. That is kind of a new way to measure the quality of the colors for the LEDs. And these 14 here are the CRI values. So you can see that on TM30, a CRI 80 already have some deviations from the perfect round shape, while the sunlight is really perfect. So this already gives us an idea that the sunlight colors are really true, like the sun. Yeah, and then the spectrum. And then what we really found, and what they really found, is that the sunlight, the full spectrum, compared with the standard LEDs, is much more comfortable light for your eyes. So that means reading, studying, making precise jobs. So will be much comfortable for the people. And then also they found that it's much more natural color. Yeah? Also, as we discussed, when testing with several materials, when testing with several products, the sunlight was always much natural. Yeah? This is what they could confirm clinically. Okay. So then we have several products. This is more about the packages that can go inside the bulb or inside the panel or downlight or tube. You can create any kind of product with this technology today. So it's really
what does HCL stand for, please?
HCL, the human-centric lighting.
Thank you.
Yeah, human-centric lighting. So these are really the true human-centric lighting solutions, yeah? Because we see a lot in the market that people promote human-centric lighting solution, but then the spectrum is not really the sun, not really the natural sun. So this is what we would like to avoid, that human-centric solution should be really based on our stars. That is the best light for us. This would be our discussion. Then, yeah, we have many other products, a bit more eco solutions, COBs, other kind of products, but I will not insist. And then, yeah.
OB stands for chip on board. So I think for most of the people,
correct,
unless they are lighting manufacturers, those are the names of the chips that are inside the lamps that you would buy. So it's right. So a manufacturer will buy those chips and put them inside a physical product of some kind. So I think you're just going to share some of those physical products with us now, just so that there's no confusion.
Correct. Sorry that I use the slang of our industry, because I'm every day with the luminaire makers, and I give it for known. Sorry for that. So then I want to share you the success stories we already had with the Sunlight, and we are very happy, and we got the final company permit to work on it and make some marketing campaigns. So for example, here you can see a desk lamp from a company called Balmuda, and they call it The Light. This is a really nice name, The Light. And what they target is really to do the best possible light for the kids, for the students, for everyone having to work on a desk. Yeah. So they develop this especially, as I mentioned, for the kids. You can put all your things, and it's with the Sunlight chip inside, the Sunlight COB is inside the lamp. And also they have a special lens to make the light that doesn't disturb you. But you see, they really focus on the colors, because when you have to work with colors, this would be also good for designers, people who need to work with colors, because you have a very high rendering of these colors. And then you see the difference also, with the normal one that you are under and you don't see, or you create your own shadow. And with this Bermuda, you have that also the design of the lens that helps a lot to have a good light. So this was very successful. They are selling in Japan today. I don't know if they will export soon to other countries, but in Japan they are very, very successful. And as we mentioned about the rendering of the colors, the sun would be 100. Our Bermuda or Sunlight inside is 97. So really, really very close to the sun. Then also we work with one of the biggest manufacturers in China, that is Xiaomi. I think everybody knows Xiaomi from the phones, but they do many other things. And they also did Sunlight desk lamp. So very happy to cooperate with them. Also with Remes, is a company that is doing bulbs. It's a German Russian company. And I sent to Shelley 2 of these bulbs. So I hope they look good, and their idea is same, to bring the best quality and to bring the real sun spectrum indoors. Here I want to share you a school that was done with the Sunlight panel. So here they use 3 different channels, and they can do a very warm sunlight for the evening, for the early afternoon, after lunch, for example, to relax a bit. Then they have also 4000 Kelvin CCT to start concentration, and then they have a 6500 Kelvin to really, when it's the working time for the kids, that they can be really concentrated during 2, 3, 4 hours. Yeah, here you see with some other manufacturers we are working on. Willa from Northern Group from UK. We had a very good cooperation. For the office is also a very, very good solution, the Sunlight. Another one, I go a bit quick. But here you see, for example, what is happening with the sun. 8 o'clock, so we already have a lot of energy on the blue area, so we can reproduce this. 12 o'clock, we would already start to decrease, and then at 3 o'clock, we already have a lot of red for less blue, to start relax and going home, that you are not really stressed or disrupted on the circadian rhythms. This is a very interesting story that we did in Spain. It's for the Reina Sofia Museum, where they repair the paints and the art. So before they were using traditional tubes, now they use Sunlight, and they say that, wow, it really changed a lot, because now they can understand the painting and the art as it would be in natural sunlight.
Great.
So this
I'm going to move you
helps them a lot.
Have you got anything? I'm just aware of the time, so.
Yeah. So this is it. We have several more stories also for growing plants and also for animals. But this is the best light. Yeah. This would be
Thank
the
you. Thank you so much. I'll post some links to that, and obviously people can get in touch with you. I just had two other quick questions for you before we close. One of them is obviously Sunlight is the name that you have kind of taken as a sort of almost like Intel or a kind of brand for the name of this particular kind of chip. I've come across imitations, and I just wanted to check how you control for that. How do we know that we've got a real Sunlight inside?
Hey, this is a good question. So we are working on it with several customers that they really put our Sunlight logo on their products. So we start to have more and more that are engaged with us on this. And of course, we started 2017 launching the first Sunlight. Now it really wins traction in the market. Everybody starts to know, and we need to hurry up.
Well, yeah, I did buy a couple of lamps which said they were Sunlight, and having a chance to see some real, and I was like, yeah, okay. And they were sold at a premium, and I thought, okay, so this is going to be great. And actually, they were really not great at all. So I think I'm just going to encourage people to make sure that it really is a Sunlight product as opposed to an imitation. And I guess the other thing is, how if people want to find out more about the research, I'm going to post some examples, but is there a place? The Seoul Semiconductor website is quite technical, quite quite industrial. Are there places where you recommend that people can go to find out more about this?
We can put in our website, I think. We have a dedicated place for Sunlight. So I will ask our team to place there the links for the research.
That would be great. I'm going to put some of the pieces that you mentioned in our in the page for today's interview. But it'd be great if people can, if they want to find out more, and obviously your contact details will be there as well. So it's a great new innovation. I think it's, as you said, it's only 2017, so we really are on the cusp of something really outstanding. And Seoul Semicon has really been at the forefront of that, so it's a real pleasure to have this conversation and to hear what the impetus was from you, who know so much about it. So thank you very much indeed for your time, Marc.
Thanks a lot for your time, and happy to be here.
All right, thank you. Bye now.